So
hey everybody, welcome to the Spinner Rack. I'm here with the boys and our special guest star, Professor CA. Say what's up, Professor CA.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here. Let's do it.
Cal and Petey, give the fans a big heads up.
Yo,
Mortal Kombat! That's right. That's what we're doing today. Did you see it? Did you not see it? We're going to talk to you about it. So here it is. Boom. Mortal Kombat. You know, we all know this is the show with Sub-Zero and Scorpion. We've all seen that fantastic scene on TV when they cut the trailer. I'm sorry, I'm just going buck wild. Where the Sub-Zero just goes through, he's through the so, I gotta get myself back in there.
Yeah, you got to control some of that extra.
Yeah, no. So hey, we all know that famous scene that they had in the trailer where Sub-Zero and Scorpion are fighting, and Sub-Zero freezes the blood of Scorpion, uses it as a knife, sticks him with his own blood, flips him, and throws him off. All I gotta say is that's in the movie.
okay, we have to start. Or you're gonna give us an overview. That first fight is not with Scorpion yet. It's with Hanzo. It's Hanzo and Sub-Zero. It's in their earliest forms. Was the Baihan? Like those,
Yeah.
they're the earliest forms.
You're talking about the very beginning. I'm just
Yeah.
tell
I'm
people
going to the real fight, the end of the actual finale. Like,
sorry,
God.
the excitement was just getting to me, guys.
So give us an overview of it.
I'll let you give them over. You go, Petey.
No, I'm giving it to you. You don't like my
overview.
overview.
No, let's see your overview.
No, come on. Because the story is about, you basically see, we see who will become Scorpion. You see Hanzo, right? Hanzo, he's like with his family. They're doing it very nice. And the next thing you know, you see people getting killed. And I'm kind of got lost. I was like, wait a second, how many people does he out there? Apparently there's a few people outside protecting his family. But then Baihan comes in there. He's got all the cool powers. He's got the cold powers that we know. So we know he's going to be Sub-Zero. And he's like, you know, like bringing the ice and whatnot. You see the cold and all that stuff. And then, of course, he does something treacherous. He takes his wife and the daughter. They're frozen when he gets there. But they played one card that Sub-Zero didn't know. They saved the child and hid them. They hid the child, the baby at the same time. So Hanzo comes there. He sees all this. So many people dead. He worries about his family. He sees, of course, he has to see his wife and his daughter, and he's upset. We get this great fight, but of course, Sub-Zero wins. We see him die. We see Hanzo die, but then Lord Raiden comes and takes the baby. And then we're thrust into the life of Cole, who's a boxer, and basically the basic plot is that there's these forces that Cole has no knowledge of that brings him into this big fight of Mortal Kombat in this tournament. But they're not doing the movie like they did before, where you just go to see the tournaments. The tournament's been happening, but at the same time, they've been challenging. And at that point, the evil side have gotten more wins, and they only need sort of one more win before they take over and they can enter our regular world, right? So of course, the good forces, which are with Lord Raiden, are kind of trying to gather many people. They already have, who's that guy? Jax. They got Jax. Sonya Blade, who doesn't have any connection to it. She's got another person who has a connection to it, which is the kind of the star of the movie. What's the guy's name? Damn it.
Ricard Brooks?
No, not him. What's the guy?
Kung Lao?
Huh? Kano. Was it Kano?
Oh, Kano, yeah.
Kano's the Australian guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious. So he carries us through the movie. But basically, that's the thing. The forces have one more win to get. The good forces are trying to train to get their powers so they can get these cool powers that the bad guys have already got. It's like the dark side. The dark side already has all their cool stuff. The good guys are learning. Only a couple have their thing. What was it? What's the guy with the hat? The guy with the hat. Which one?
Kung Lao.
So he's already got his thing. We got the other cool guys who have the fire. They're doing that stuff. But we got to get our good guys to get their powers. But then they have a couple of new people that I didn't see before. So basically, that's it. They basically, while they're training, they get attacked by all of Sub-Zero's forces, and then the movie just starts. It's just action all the way through. There's a little bit of story, which is great. We just want to get to fight.
That's all we want to see, baby. That's all we want to see. You know. So yeah, thank you, Petey. That was a great overview. Thank you for bringing all that up. So we start off basically with the main character, Cole himself. What do you guys think about him? You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, he's at the very beginning, and basically the secret is that what? He's a descendant of Scorpion, right?
Yeah.
Hanzo.
Excuse me, Scorpion. All right, Hanzo then. Hanzo it is. So I mean, what do you think about that whole thing, Cal?
After seeing this movie, I realized that the first Mortal Kombat movie was a really good movie. That was a really good movie because they threaded a needle that hadn't happened before because they had made so many movies that sucked based on a video game, be it Super Mario Brothers or Double Dragon.
Oh, now I see where you're going. So sorry, keep going. Yeah, I see where you're going now.
Couldn't get it together. But Mortal Kombat, and everybody went into, I remember that week that the movie was coming out, and everybody went into it like, oh no, this may suck. But I kept hearing good reports. You know, I think guys got to see it as early as Wednesday. And they were like, yeah, you gotta go see it. It's cool, it's really good, it's good. And you're like, okay, I'll make the judgment for myself. And then we were all there. Only was one kid in the theater messing it up for everybody because he had already seen it. So he was seeing it for the second time and he was calling out all the movies before they happened. He's lucky he didn't get himself beat up by the time he got out into that lobby. But they went over there and they did three things very well at that film. One, you still have to have a story. Yes, we came for the fights, but you still got to have a suitable story. It doesn't have to be that great of a story, but it's got to be suitable to take you from place to place, those sequence of events. Two, the fight choreography needs to be such that I can't see the choreography, okay? I'm a practitioner and I've also seen enough of these movies. If I see the choreography, I'm totally taken out of it. And with Mortal Kombat, they did a good job. They focused a lot more on upper body movements than the kicks, which are harder in terms of the choreography. I was very happy for that. But the guy who played Liu Kang in that first movie also did the choreography, and he was an accomplished fight choreographer as well. Okay, and third, okay, what chicks we did get to see in the movie, they were hot. Okay, so I was like, hey, we got everything that we need in this movie. Now I got this movie over here, and I'm like, man, how did you mess this up? It's like, okay. One, I get this, we get this whole start with the entity between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I'm like, that's great. If that's going to run throughout the movie and be a part of this whole thing and it culminates in the tournament, great. Other than that, I really didn't need to see all that backstory between the two of them. All you really need to tell me was that these two guys hate each other for a long time. And you could have said, why? We don't know. It's been lost to antiquity or what have you. I didn't really need all that extra backstory, especially since I came to see a whole bunch of fighting. And then we get to the modern day, you introduce a new character who has nothing to do with the video game. So I got to warm up to this guy in the presence of this story. And then he does the same punk move where you got to fight. You got to fight. And he's like, no, I want to go home and go be with my family. You're not a politician who's going to lose an election, dude. The fate of the world is over here. You don't get to refuse the call in this particular instance. So he's like, no, I'm going to refuse the call, go be with my family. And then, of course, when Goro shows up, oh, now you want to fight. Now you can find what you need to do when your family is being threatened. You couldn't do that over here. So all of those particular things take me out of it. And then when do we get to the parts of the movie that are good again? When we get back to that enmity between Hanzo, okay, and Bai. When they're fighting again as Sub-Zero and Scorpion, then it's like, okay, great. We're back to, we're getting some resolution over there. But that was like a loop around, there was like a loop outside of everything else that was going on. You had some little bits with Jax and, trying to get some motivation for Jax, some motivation for Sonya, but, they didn't have enough of the characters in there that I thought would have made it fly. Kano was definitely the life of the party, but you had him on the wrong side. He should have been on the villain side from the start, okay? And he could have been doing more, he could have been pressing these guys more at the beginning. Instead, it makes it look like, hey, well, why did you switch sides? Just for the cash? We could have gotten cash either way. So I was just looking at it, it's like, man, this was pretty easy. And you guys kind of, you flubbed it. I mean, it's some really good, you have some really good sequences, really good shots, but this was, all you had to do was follow what happened in the first one and you would have been fine. And you didn't hit on any of those three necessary. Now, it's a totally different generation out there. I'm certain there'll be a lot more embracing to it. To that generation who's going to embrace this like the best thing ever, please go see the very first Mortal Kombat, and you will see how it's done.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I would only chime in is that seeing that one in the theater, the first one, when the music came on with the fighting, it almost was like a musical, and it was kind of tough to watch. I applaud you for being able to sit through it because I couldn't take it seriously while they had the music going on. I like that they lessened the music until they gave us the big music at the very end during the credits and that sort of thing, rather than the points where they'd be fighting that they actually were like, you know what? No, I mean, I had to also applaud them back then, even though it wasn't for me at that point. Even though, was I? I guess it could have been for me because I was a kid back then. But at the same time, it was like, for me, it was just a little extra. But it seems like people have taken it on and done a lot of videos matching, doing the fighting and the dancing, and sometimes not even fighting, just dancing with the music. So I think it's something that I guess kind of worked. So just wanted to chime in with that. Sorry, Morris, you go.
I mean, I gotta say, there is a different generation movie, and it was different from what I expected from the very first film that I saw. Now, one of the things that I saw right off the bat, and I was like, this is going to be a better movie in some respects, was that Christopher Lambert was not Lord Raiden.
Yeah, shots.
What do you say, Professor C.A.?
I said, damn, the shots. Shots.
Hey, you can take that shot, but what can I tell you? Christopher Lambert was a better Lord Raiden.
I don't know if he was, bro. I don't know. I mean, he had more to do. This one did not get as much as possible. I agree.
He's talking about the acting.
Yeah, he was. Christopher Lambert came in there as Lord Raiden, and I understand why they put him in the. I understand why they put him in the film now. I didn't understand before because I was like, he doesn't look Japanese to me. But the stuff that he needed to bring in terms of the role, he nailed it. This guy was wood.
I totally disagree. When I thought, no, I don't want to go into the disagreement stuff. Look, I just thought that this Lord Raiden hit what he needed to do. He brought the people together. They did the training, and that's it. We wanted to. What the key thing is here in this movie is you want to see the fights. I saw the fights again. I gotta say, the Sub-Zero Scorpion battle is off the hook, team. But I must have rewatched that particular scene probably 3 times. After watching it on a trailer, I watched it again in the movie. I had to stop. Rewind.
But now you're only. I'm sorry to say this. You're only agreeing with Cal because all you're talking about is the fight at the end. He said it came back to him when he got to that fight. Right? That was his whole point. And all you talk about, forget all the rest of that stuff. I don't want to talk about the Scorpion Sub-Zero fight.
There were
I don't even remember any of the other fights.
I remember the fights and saw the other fights and some of them were pretty good and stuff. But I mean, that scene of the blood coming through just cannot, to this day, just cannot. Thought of that stuff right there. I thought the Mylène, the girl who played Mylène, I thought she did a good job. That's the one with the mouth that opens up all the way.
Oh my goodness, that chick.
Melina?
That chick was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was. You saw her walking away.
She was bouncing. Every step was like bounce. Yeah, everybody just.
She found, what was it? Everybody had to find their arcana. She found hers. She found hers very early on.
Overall,
what was that character? That's not Lee. Which one? What character was that? What was her name?
Melina.
Okay.
I didn't expect the shot. I just thought they were going to be more. It would be more like a battle world, and that's what was going to happen. But in fact, they came. They kind of cheated. They came and they started fighting it off here in this particular world. And I kind of surprised me very much. Was not expecting that. But in terms of the visuals, I thought the visuals were great. In terms of the fights, I thought the fights were very good overall. The fight between Kano and what's her name? Blade, Sonya Blade. I thought that was okay. I thought that was
boring.
It was a fun fight, and you knew those two were going to go at it again.
She was boring.
Kano, of course, stole the show. What is with the Australians always stealing the show? They're always comic relief.
What's the name? Cabal. He was great too. He picked up the humor right where he took the baton, and he was funny too. He was cracking me up too.
He was good too.
We can't listen to it, but this is what I was saying about the walk. We're not going to spoil too much for you, Professor, but I had to do the walk. This is
oh, cool.
This is crazy. So here we go. We got this nice skyline, and who starts bouncing around? She's homegirl just got a bounce to her. It's crazy.
I was talking about her acting
Yeah,
talent.
she got like 2 coconuts and she's like together like 2
You
coconuts.
can see from here. Here we go. Pause. Where's the pause button? Here we go. Let's look at it like the biggest grits. This chick is the
What's
bomb.
the matter with you guys? You know, objectifying people.
I'm
Come on.
not. This is for the fighting, the ability to fight.
Objectifying
Here
anything.
we
That's
go
beautiful.
again.
Not the fight.
She's strong. She seems very strong.
Very strong.
Objectification. Can you objectify a rainbow? Huh? Can you objectify a waterfall? No, they're beautiful. That's beautiful.
Oh my
It's not just
God.
Milena.
We digress.
Sorry, that was a break. I mean,
And
it was
even
for
that-
the
No,
culture.
because I'm kind of keeping like a scorecard of like, should I watch this or not? And so far, we got one in the yeah category.
No, you got to watch it.
Yes, yes.
If you saw the look, if you like,
If you saw the first Mortal Kombat and then you saw the second one, those 2 were solid films. Okay, you could have liked one more than the other, but both solid films. Then you got all the other stuff with like that went straight to YouTube with like Michael Jai White. You got all that other stuff that I can't necessarily recommend. But this should have been like a slam dunk at the end of the day. And I'm really hoping, for me, I really hope it resonates with new viewers and they really like it. And so we can get some more stuff and maybe they can build out of it. Because for me, I was just like, no, most of the characters that you're interested in are the ones who are in the video game. Why is there so much time being put on this guy that we don't know? They decided to introduce a new dude. If you wanted to do that, you guys could have made a whole bunch of shorts about him, like on YouTube or something, little animated shorts. So we would have had like a little bit of interest in him. But otherwise, he just comes across as a loser. And you wonder, well, why do I got to pay attention to this guy for so long? Get back to the Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight. That's where the meat of the story is.
Well, I would have to disagree again, and I would say the thing that I say they should get back to is Homegirl. We need to get back to Homegirl. Look at the cool look, even though it's a little Jokerish. But I think at the same time, as we move along in the show, it's like, you know what? We just needed more of her, and we could sell it. I mean, come on, look at this. It's the quality. It's the acting is so impeccable. Wow. Are you just you're acting for me? You're acting like you're outraged?
Yeah,
That
he's
was a
acting.
good scene, wasn't it? The
Wasn't
action
wasn't it?
Oh no, you muted yourself.
I muted myself because I was disgusted by what I was talking about the issues in here. If you have nothing,
He's on
either one of you.
the
If you have nothing else to say, either one of you, let's.
costuming, the outfits.
The show was overall pretty good. I think that this is one of those shows that grabs people from different audiences. And so when you look at people who are interested in this, you see a lot of us brothers and sisters came out to watch this movie. I mean, they're showing their numbers now. They're doing pretty well. This show came out made $19 million already, and it's good. I think if you're interested in this, if you like the first one, this is going to be different. So let's get it wrong. The last one was done in the 1990s. This is done 2021. It's a different movie. Yes, many of the elements that you expected then didn't work, aren't there, and have changed. Is Cole the guy you would expect? No, it wasn't. That's not who I expected. But overall, did I enjoy the fights in the movies? Yes.
Cole's a loser. Cole's a loser. And again, it's not okay. We came for the fights, but we need to want to see these fights. And why do we want to see them? Because we played the video game. We want to see this in real. We want to see real people acting this stuff out as to who's going to be who in these fights. But the other thing they also botched is the underlining thing of this tournament is not just for the fights. It's also for what? To save Earth, right? Yeah. And that just never seemed to be anything within this particular film. They just showed up and what is it? Is it Shao Kahn? Yeah, he comes there and he's just like, hey, I don't care about these rules. I'm just going to kill you guys now. And in the first film, Lord Raiden was there like, no. Everybody follows by the rules. That's why I'm here, to make certain that these things go. So the tournament is where this is settled, and that's going to be fair at the end of the day. And they just totally bypass all of that. So if that's the case, just have them fighting. Just do like they did Jax. Let's just fight in an abandoned building. Let's fight on the street. Let's fight wherever. And we don't need to come to all of these other places. So those type of fixtures. And that's the funny thing. These are the fixtures of the video game. And it helps it to be an enjoyable experience for the video game, and they didn't translate that over to the film. But that being said, I would still give it a fair rating. I think this is still like a very much B plus at the end of the day. It's enjoyable, even with the failings that I see right here. I hope enough people come out and support it, because I would like to see some more. I find these type of things very enjoyable, especially when they're executed well. And I'm hoping that, well, I don't know, I might be jinxing it, because if everybody supports this, they're going to say, oh, we did everything right, so let's just do more of the same. And then I'll be griping even more the next time. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I mean, ultimately, we're not sure where they're gonna go with it. It could turn into like going for the movie, the action movie trilogy to keep moving. And I wouldn't, say that to defend any points. I mean, I definitely hear, Cal's points. For me, not being a big outside of the video game. So what?
What about my points?
He just spoke. Are we in disagreement? You said you enjoyed it. I said I enjoyed it.
But I think there was more than one person that gave points.
Oh, you know what, Marge? Out of 10 Booyaka shots, how much would you give this?
I'm with Cal on that, with about a 8.
Oh, 8
Booyaka
Booyaka shots. All right.
You
I'd like
said
to hear
8. Did Cal give it 8? How many did you give it?
Cal measured it on another scale. Gave it a B plus, I think.
Yeah, B plus.
Oh, you gave it a B plus. I thought it sounded lower with the way you described it.
What you were
No, I mean
hoping.
a B. I always say that it's not that hard to make a good film. So a B is that's a pretty big indictment if you're getting a B.
I'm just saying, for me, it was just pure fun. Pure this. There was some weaknesses around there, but it seemed like they just sort of. And I was worried that it was just going to be bloody, bloody, bloody. Right, like the scene with MK with Mortal Kombat 11 game. I've had to look through a lot of those, and they were like, pull your spleen out, bring it back, put it back in, blow you up, turn you over, put you in the microwave. And they didn't go that far. They did it on a couple of things, but they didn't go that far where you just can, but they didn't kill us with that stuff. So for me, it was just sort of fun.
Okay, so I mean, overall, we generally liked it, which of course means that it hit the demographic that it was looking for. We hope that this film continues to do well. Professor CA, it's going to be a blast.
I look forward to it. I feel like I have to see it after what I was shown, and you guys put me on too. I'm going to definitely check it out.
Sub-Zero Scorpion fight. To me, the one problem is that it seems that was because they have a fight in the beginning and they have a fight in the middle, and it's like when you think about it, it's like, wow, those are two main bookends to the fight, to the whole thing, and they should have done more with some of the others. But hey, I think can't go wrong with those two parts. So Spinnerack,
Ouch.